Quick audit on yesterday's call. The levels held. Now, tonight's vector is locked in from Korea. You're going to see headlines about the KOSPI hitting 5,000. Ignore it. It's a trap. The real signal, the one that gives us our edge for the US Open, is a deep fracture in the semiconductor supply chain. Let's get into it.
Okay, answer first. That KOSPI 5000 number, it's pure noise. It was used as cover for a major distribution event in legacy tech. The actual signal for US traders is the massive divergence we saw between Samsung and its key AI supplier, SK Hynix. That's the signal activation we're tracking tonight.
So first, let's put this so-called milestone under the microscope. Because while the media is busy popping champagne for the headline number, the capital flow tells a completely different and, frankly, more important story.
On the surface, it looks great, right? The KOSPI closed up 0.76%, touching that big psychological 5,000 level. And yeah, that's the number driving all the retail chatter and the flashy news alerts.
But here's what was happening underneath. As retail was chasing that headline, foreign net buying, the smart money, absolutely cratered. It plunged by 69%. This wasn't accumulation, folks. This was smart money unloading their bags into the hype. A textbook liquidity exit.
And this brings us to the real signal, our canary in the coal mine. See, the true story isn't about the index at all. It's about a critical split inside the semiconductor sector. This is what exposes the actual institutional strategy. And here's the crucial insight for you tonight. Capital is no longer treating semiconductors as just one big bucket. No way. The money flow has become surgical. It's separating the old-school consumer tech from the high-demand AI supply chain, specifically high-bandwidth memory, HBM.
You want proof? Look no further than Samsung Electronics, the biggest player in the whole index. It actually finished the day down 0.13%. When the market leader shows that kind of weakness on a milestone day, that is a massive red flag.
Now, in complete contrast, you have SK Hynix. We saw a major signal activation there, a rally of 1.59%. This is our upstream alpha node. This is the company that makes the high bandwidth memory, the HBM, that directly feeds the AI giants you're trading in the US. And look, this isn't just a hunch, it's statistically locked in. The correlation here, with a rho of nearly 0.9, is incredibly high. It means SK Hynix's performance is a direct leading indicator for NVDA's demand. For tonight's US session, this is pretty much the only signal that really matters.
Okay, so if big money was selling the legacy names, where did that capital actually go? Let's follow the trail. Let's see exactly where institutions put their cash during this whole distribution event.
And here it is, a whopping 987.4 billion Korean won rotated into the KOSDAQ. That's Korea's growth-focused index. So this wasn't a risk-off move into cash. It was a very targeted risk-on rotation into a completely different kind of asset. What you're looking at is a textbook sector rotation. The money moved out of those overextended, headline-grabbing semis and flowed directly into lagging growth sectors. Think biotech and fintech, places that still have room to run.
And here's the bridge. This is why we're watching Seoul so closely. This rotation provides a perfect template for what could happen in the US session. So, assuming yields stay put, we should be anticipating a parallel move into growth ETFs, like the Russell 2000 or even ARKK.
So let's get down to it. Let's translate all of this analysis into a direct, actionable vector for your US semiconductor strategy tonight. Visually, this is the whole thesis right here. The signal activation we saw in SK Hynix, the Korean HBM leader, gives us a 14-hour head start on the US AI hardware trade. It directly impacts names like NVDA and Micron. The supply chain is literally giving us the answer before the opening bell even rings in New York. So, how do we play this? Here's your intelligence briefing, your execution guide for the US Open. All right, here's your tactical checklist. For the NASDAQ, our key pivot level is 25,500. For NVIDIA and Micron, you're watching the pre-market high. That's your confirmation trigger to follow the momentum from Hynix. But, and this is critical, here's the kill switch for this entire thesis, the 10-year Treasury yield. If that thing breaks above 4.30%, all growth bets are off. You have to watch that level above everything else. So really, it all comes down to two very clear scenarios. The bull case, NASDAQ holds 25,500, confirming that this growth rotation is for real. And the bear case, what we're calling the bull trap, is triggered if that 10-year yield breaks 4.3%. If that happens, it confirms the KOSPI 5000 was a global peak, and it's an immediate signal to raise cash.
So the signal from Seoul couldn't be clearer. Distribution in the old guard, heavy concentration in the AI supply chain. You now have a 14-hour head start on the rest of the market. The only question left is, how are you going to execute?